Hello everyone, this is Reassembly 227. I know I just made a mod video. I had a lot of fun doing that, and I just thought, I'm going to make another mod video, a very simple mod guide to Retaliator. This is just for a simple upgrade, nothing big, just a spring replacement, some basic mods, that's it. We're going to make this blaster shoot just a little bit harder so it can be a little bit more efficient in a Nerf war. And this is a Retaliator. Now, it is a little bit used, and obviously it has been taken apart before, but I'm really excited to open this up and replace the spring. Just like that, we will take the shell off. Important thing to note, this is not like most Nerf blasters where you take the priming handle off first, then you take the rest. The priming handle is each side of the priming handle is connected on each side of the blaster, so you have to just kind of lift the priming handle with the blaster. Of course, just be sure to pull the priming handle back to unscrew the screws that you need to. Just a little pro tip, I have been confused about that myself. So, some very basic internals here. I am not going to be doing an air restrictor mod, and here is why. Sometimes with air restrictors, and I don't know if that's the case with this blaster, but sometimes the case with the blaster is basically the air restrictor guides the air to the dart. And if you don't have, and a lot of times if you remove the air restrictor, the air will go in other places that normally wouldn't go. This isn't the case always, but it happens sometimes. And sometimes you can even get a decrease in range. And the best thing to do with air restrictor mod is to do the air restrictor mod and then do a barrel mod. That way the air is guided to the dart and you get the boost of performance that you need. And it's really good performance too. But I do not have any barrels, so we're just going to be doing a basic spring upgrade using a Tech 6. This is a reshell to Tech 6. I don't like the Tech 6 that much. It's a Buzzbee blaster. Who needs it? I like the other versions, but this one is kind of cool, but also a little ugly. And I really don't need it. I have no use for it, so I'm just going to take it apart and replace the spring, and you will get the boost in performance. Now, this is not the only version of the Tech 6. There's obviously the more traditional looking one. This is a different reshell, but it's basically the same blaster. I didn't think it had the same name. So we're just going to take this apart, pull the spring out of here, and put it in there. Through a load of trial and error, I was actually able to get this open, and let's throw these parts. One good thing about these blasters is they have this thing, and this is a return spring, and this is very essential if you want to repair a broken return spring on a Maverick, because it's the same type of spring. So that's always nice to have. What we're after is the spring. It's not rusted. I think that's what it's supposed to be. It should fit. We'll see. And also another thing is you can use these cylinders, put them on a blast bazooka or a big blast, and you can have a 6-shot shotgun. I may try that at some point in the future, but for now, and I'll just use I'll probably throw away the shells and then use the screws or something. So take the spring out, and we can see a difference, a slight difference, but this is a lot more of a weaker spring, and this is a lot more of a stronger spring. So it should just fit in there fine. Yes, it actually fits really nicely in there, so that's perfect. And I was worried, since it was a different version of the Tech 6, that it wouldn't work, but shout out to Bots and Blasters in the thrifting video. He mentioned that this is basically the same as the Tech 6, and the blaster I'm using is the same as the Tech 6. It's always hard to get these catches list. And basically, it's a Tech 6, and thanks to Bots and Blasters for pointing that out in his video, because I wouldn't have known that otherwise, and I wouldn't have been able to do this mod. So everything is in place. I'm not really going to remove any locks. I don't care much about that stuff. I'm just a basic spring upgrade, and even without the air restrictors taken out, I think it will be a whole lot better. So we're just going to kind of put it together. Now, one thing about these blasters is there's sometimes a little bit of trouble putting these back together. In the past, I've had a few not so good experiences, but also I noticed that the rail piece in here is missing, I'm not going to really do anything about that either. I'll probably will in the future, but not right now. This is just a really basic video. So let's get that together. Alright, so let me disclose something. Halfway through the speed it's so bright. Why is that bright? Halfway through the time lapse, I had to stop it because I couldn't figure out how to put it back together, because I've always had trouble with Retaliators. That is an honest thing. I'm being honest here. I don't know why it is, but especially putting them back together, I've just always had trouble with. Let me know in the comments if you've dealt with the same thing. But my brother stepped in to help. He's much more tech savvy, not tech savvy, but he's like a lot more, you know, like mechanic savvy. I don't know what you call it, but he knows a lot more about this stuff than I do, and he was able to fix it. He's way more better than modding Nerf blasters, so props to him for fixing it. He also removed some locks and stuff, so that's nice. And it works fine, and the spring upgrade's really nice. It has a lot more power now. I can even feel it. I've done a shot. I've already shot it a couple times in this room here, and it seems to be a whole lot more powerful. So I'm going to take it out to the range. Alrighty guys, it may be windy, but we're out here with my modified Retaliator. I'm not going to do an actual, like, exact range test. I'm just going to do a quick little range, like, just a quick little shooting, just to show you how much farther it is. Uh-oh. Yeah, I forgot to add a lock on that one. It shoots really far. Farther than any of my other Retaliators. A little jams. It is really good. It works great. It's an upgrade for sure. And do not remove the air restrictor. I actually found out that the Retaliator has one of the most perfect air restrictors you can actually find. And it does its job instead of restricting air. So there's no point in removing it. You're actually going to decrease your Retaliator's performance by removing the air restrictor. So just a spring upgrade. Now you may need to, if you want to like do a short dart Retaliator, then yeah, you'd have to remove the air restrictor, brass it up and stuff. But besides that, unless you're doing short darts, leave it with the air restrictor on because it's going to be better for the blaster. Alrighty guys, that is my mod guide to, a very basic mod guide to the Retaliator. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video, find it useful. Always, when you go to a thrift store, if you find a Tech 6 for like $1.50 or something like that, you might want to pick it up and just throw it in your Retaliator because it works really well. And I forgot to put a lock back in so it does this even when you prime it, so I just have to make sure that's forward. That is a mistake I made on my part. You don't have to do that. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
My junk drawer, my junk drawer. So many things, I don't know what they're for, but I won't let it go. No, I will add more useless little things to my junk drawer.